Hello, my beautiful air signs. We are going to start with basically giving you a higher arcana deck, which are of the 22 decks above the rest of them, which will represent something major that is going on in your life at the moment. However, the general read will be a general read where there could be specific message in the end of the read to each star sign. So you better pay attention because we are in for a bumpy ride that goes for all of us. So whatever you identify as, if you identify as a tropical Libra or a sidereal Libra, it doesn't matter. It is what you feel is the most right for you. We are synchronicity based. I don't walk around calling myself a psychic, but we all channel when we lose ourselves in regards to what we do. So we are going to start with giving the first air sign a major event or a theme that Gemini has to deal with right now, which is the Magician. Wow, it's beautiful. So as you see with this sword here, it has the ability to penetrate into the illusion. The illusion as a cube here is literally Saturn, and 0 equals 2. We also see that what is above is also below, what is within is also without. So basically the cube is restraining you from seeing who you truly are. It's the illusion, it's the darkness that keeps you from seeing things for what they really are. So the Magician, that is your card. Maybe it's now time for you to wake up and see who you really are. And what's up with this reality? Why did I manifest a horse in the doorway? Well, that's usually all on you too. Now, next air sign is Libra. What do we have for Libra? Wow. So Libra, it looks like, yeah, carrying energy. So Libra, you have the star. You are the one that carries the water. You nourish people with the water. That is liquid crystal. And liquid crystal, or crystal as in water or in general, is programmable. It is full of information, and it's been corrupted for the past many years, a lot, as we already know. And we fill it with chloride, we fill it with sugar, we fill it with so much stuff, which is literally affecting our own process of ascension. So this is where you come in, Libra, to liberate through knowledge, peace, through beauty, by refining everything that is ugly. What is ugly? Well, if you're an artist, maybe you don't really see ugly, but the ugliness in that sense that something that is decaying, something that stinks, something that's rotting, something that eats itself up, and it it's the smell of death, you know, it's all the things we no longer need in life, like sugar. Some of you are sugar addicted, yeah, in there. Now we are going to move on to Aquarius and see what is your message, what is your higher one. So you've got Scorpio energy, you have Judgment Day. So here you are, rising up from the dead, and now you have the power to keep up the frequency and keep them pure. So there is no such thing as a bad major arcana. For all of you, we have death in reversed, which could be a subtle message. I didn't read that on the water signs. Poor guys. If you have any questions in regards, Gemini, if you have any questions in regards to the Magician, Saturn, or the illusion, either it's a love question or whatever, the answer is no. Aquarius, if you have any question in regards to the ascension process, whatever question pops up to your mind right now, the answer is yes. I didn't need a dice for that one, by the way. Libra, if you have any questions, in regards to any choice you need to make in life, the answer is no. It's attached to 7, and for some reason I see the S and the 7 as something very similar that is connected to the snake. That was a channeling. Okay. So we are going to use my favorite new deck, as they still are a little bit vague in regards to their meaning. I'm going to use channeling and common sense combined with the regular meaning, a little bit tint of a new and higher meaning, as they challenge the old principles of Rider-Waite Smith and even Thoth and Telemark cards. They challenge, and you can't really read most of them reversed, only a few of them, and because they are in Spanish and an ancient Germanic language, I chose to just read them as I know what I know, and combine it with pure channeling, so forth. So this read, guys, this will be for all of you, general read for Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, and then in the end we will see what is going on in love. This usual read here usually point itself easily towards teamwork, career, and what we have to do ahead of us, because as you can see also here, I think this is very important, that it's burning around the cube, basically saying that the Malkuth, or the cube, which is the kingdom, is below. That is the hell, that is the illusion, that is the illusion of suffering, when we don't really suffer at all. Okay, let's get started. That's cute. So we have a spider. I didn't see that one coming. It's a little creepy with the red eyes. Red eyes, creepy, creepy red eyes. So this little spider is someone, I consider it to be very quick. If, you know, think of this as a person or an energy that a person possesses, or a vibe around you. This energy is very flirtatious. And it's almost a little bit like a magician that without your knowledge, you're stuck on that chair because it just managed to hypnotize you. And while you're hypnotized by that person, like this could be literally Queen of Wands, you all of a sudden find yourself stuck on that chair or stuck on her or him. So this little guy here is someone who easily gets attention, and obviously they don't look like a spider, but they are very quick. They are full of fire. You know, you could be dealing with a jumping spider, but they are very fast, you know. So let's just say that was a pickpocket type. They're not the best at it. They have to pull you down and pull a web around you. A pickpocket, that's a Page of Swords. You know, that's sword energy or Scorpio energy. Because these people get easily a lot of attention because they have so much fire around them. Leo energy, Aries energy, Sagittarius energy, that they hypnotize you. You feel charmed by them. They're usually very beautiful or handsome. And before you know it, you are stuck on them. In this case, it represents Virga, which could mean Virgo. However, it's connected to the wands, and it's also connected to the moon, says here. So this makes this card subtly a little bit allure. You know, it's full of fire, still a little bit allure. So could be a fire sign with, let's say, Cancerian moon. Okay. It's very affected, not just by its sexual drive or drive in general, but it's also affected very, very by the moon. The Virga part, that's the part I need to check out more, because this is a whole other level where they are laughing in the face of ancient tarot card traditions. And so for now, I'm just going to use the knowledge I already possess in regards to spiders, in regards to what is, they're pretty similar to the old cards. We're in for a surprise, all of us. The next card we are dealing with is Eight of Cups. 6, 7, 8. Yep. So Eight of Cups, I'm sure many of you are familiar with that. This is basically walking away. So you could have been ensnared by a spider. We literally, you know, I showed a picture once. I had this stomach, like this gut feeling. I sent a picture of a person to a friend and said, "Isn't this a spider?" But you think, look at this how they look, like they are on the hunt, very charismatic. And she was very knowledgeable about spiders. And she said, yeah, that's a spider. Okay, so if you can manage to, this is also why it's hard to get rid of the spider in your life, because they create, if it's a sociopath or a narcissist, love the word, they create a cobweb around you, which we call trauma bonding, Stockholm syndrome. They are so beautiful, but perhaps you had some father issues in your life, and maybe you lack discipline, and what they say do make any sense, and they are also very nice, and for some reason you get somehow under hypnosis technique that they just know how to do it. You know, they just know how. If they are very beautiful, if they have a certain amount of intelligence, they don't have to be mathematicians, but they can be good at exactly that, seduction, because they are a spider. So that's their shit. That's what they know. And that's why it's difficult to get away from them. I can't see whether or whether not you are getting away from them. But let's move on and see. I don't know if spiders can get trapped in their own web, can they? I know coyote, I have coyote totem. And they say that it loves, like the raven, pull people's tail or throw a banana so it can laugh when you slide. And usually the coyote would forget about the banana because no one is showing up, so it's bored, walks away and slips on its own banana. And that is how the human have to learn to gain self-irony. And honestly think, oh my god, that was actually pretty funny, you know. And that's when you learn to go from being laughed at into being a comedian. Okay, so that's a little bit different on how spiders snare you versus coyote. Okay, we have a jumper here. Oh, this really are the witch's deck. So we have the Hermit, and so the Hermit is an alchemist. And it seems to me the answer here, if you feel like trauma bonded or stuck on someone and you don't know how to move away from them, it could be that you need a little bit of magic, a magic touch, because what is hidden inside the cocoon? Well, it's a larvae and they turn into a butterfly. So although this is not, there's a small difference between that kind of cocoon web and spider web, this is something we literally see taking place here. That, oh, the spider, this is, by the way, Mercury energy, and Mercury is the alchemist of, yeah, his thought. His thought, this is where we get the word thought from. So it could be that it's now time for you now to understand what alchemy really is about, and that the process starts within, in the dark, all alone, in silence, without broadcasting it to the world before you do it. That's called self-sabotage. Six of Cups. So some of you could have a soulmate coming in, someone who loves you. You could be dealing with a soulmate, which is why you find it harder to deal with the situation you're in now. I do get Virgo very strong here, both from the Spider and from the Hermit. We also have Scorpio energy and another aquatic sign. But I get ensnare, hypnotizing, seductive, trickery. I don't think this spider is evil though. It's not showing up in reverse. It's not like it wants to do you any harm. It is it could easily try to detach from you equally as you try to detach from the spider individual. And so you need both to work on this as soulmate, and you can still keep the connection pretty pure, because they seem to know maybe that they've messed up. Because if they go into hermit mode, they see that, okay, that wasn't very nice of me. I just love you so much. I want to keep you forever. And what the spiders do, well, they make you into a mummy so they can keep you forever. Get that Ed Gein vibe there. Okay, so let's check what's in your resistance here. That was quick. In reversed, so here we have, yeah, these cards are so strong, weird, which make them incredibly fascinating. For those of you who haven't seen this deck before, the Witch's Tarot, here's the name on top. Take a screenshot if you want to get these. They are very, very different, so you ought to be experienced if you want that. So the Papa here is not the usual Hierophant that we know about. The guy, the guru guy, you know, the Satguru guy, the Osho guy, or, you know, the Tibetan monk. It's a young girl with red hair, a book, and a raven on her shoulder. And the raven, what is it? Or the corvid bird. They are all about knowledge. And she carries a book. And in this case, there is some spider energy here. And this is just very strange, because we've got ancient Mesopotamian, Sumerian text here. You basically need to be an archaeologist to figure that out. Not really, but what? We're going to pull those spiders together. We have 6 spiders. Oh, that's so creepy. But there is a lot of knowledge attached to this. And that red hair, it's an ancient symbol for someone who carries witchcraft. So clearly, with my, I think this is my natural color. I'm think means that I'm not a witch, I'm a blonde bitch. Anyway, that is in your resistant position, and that means there could be some misinformation here going on. Ravens, they are pranksters. They are not evil. as I know it. They can be pretty ruthless, they can. But most of all, they symbolizes just knowledge, first and most, and prankster, jesters. They are the jesters among birds. Raven can also symbolize mischief, which is again the jester, as in Loki. But they also belong to Odin, the one-eyed king. Some kind of knowledge here. These cards need to be studied by a Scorpio. I was once told that when something, you need to dig to the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. We need Scorpios to do that. So unless you have a big Scorpio placement, live to the Scorpios. Because that card is weird. Okay, let's continue to the past here and see how it influences the current situation. Ace of Wands. So actually they're called Veritas in this case. So they're not like long staff that we can fight with. They are more like Harry Potter wands, which are called Veritas apparently. Veritas, literally meaning truth. So Ace of Truth. So in the past, there was this flaming idea of passion, just like that spider would also represent some kind of truth, you know. For me, it is passion. It's a wand. It's a lingam. And at the same time, it's pulled you into the position you are now, which I see someone could have misled some of you into a situation where you have been ensnared and now you find yourself, maybe you have studied something for a long time, you have joined maybe a circle, a secret society, maybe even a cult. You have joined something, maybe a school, and it turns out that everything you have learned needs to be deleted. A lot of time waste, which we see, especially for those of you, you know this Gemini, because you're pointing here at Saturn, which is, you know, the egg, where all that is. With the sword, or the Veritas, we will break free from the truth with the Kundalini awakening here. As you know, as you can see, the Kundalini is basically, the snakes are twirling up a sword in this case. Sometimes a staff, sometimes a sword. These major arcana here, though, doesn't belong to the deck. They just happen to stand side by side. Okay, let's try to keep them in order. Okay, so literally you have to maybe relearn something, or maybe you thought that this was your guru, the spider queen or the spider male, and it led you into an unfortunate position. You could have felt emotionally stuck, mentally stuck, not exactly knowing what to do. And in the recent past, someone could have been giving to two. That is one meaning. That's some card readers. They don't really adapt their rules, do they? depending on the adjustment of the cards. When we see sex, sorry, it's a Norwegian word for six. When we see 6 of coins, we have our own design, and we designed it literally as a cube, six-sided cube, black, and it's terra, which is earth. And that's the illusion. The illusion is that matter is dense when it's reality. In reality, it's fluid. So that's why matter is coming out as the rune Isa, which is frozen, which is chrysalis, and because our mind is all sound, light, is consciousness, awareness, and because it's attached to the identity self, which again is a part of the programming of this biological computer that you are possessing, we will perceive certain things as dense, as they are in a different space-time continuum. Therefore, they move so slow that we can literally create something from it with our speed, you know. And that is also how we are being perceived by someone else, that we might move extremely fast to some other beings, so they can't see us because we're too fast. Or to some other beings, maybe like a fly, it could consider us like we move so slow that for them it's like sitting on top of a mountain hill, and sometime the mountain gets a crack. So that is how time and space functions. And the cube is the trickster here in that sense. Wants you to believe that this is what is, and who are you in that cube? Okay, so you could have been ensnared, and so you could have, you're literally the fallen angel, which I've been talking a little bit about lately through my beautiful artwork. And 6 is, when you have several 6s in your chart, it could also mean that you have a very strong sexual attraction. So for those of you where this is a love connection, the sexual attraction is very strong, confirmed by 6 of coins and 6 of cups. Okay, let's move on and see what's crowning the energy. Ouch. Well, this card is so beautiful. I'll show you the front page on the book here. Basically super nice, and with buffo in the back of the deck. So yeah, we will have a lot of things to study regarding this deck. It's probably the coolest deck I ever had, I think. Gotta be. Anyway, let's just from fascination. So this is a snake card, and it's also a Cancerian card. It is literally the moon. Okay, so what we see here. Where did you go? Where did you go? Yeah, the fairy fell. Clumsiness. And the fairy falls. I don't know if you've seen my fairy. Really? Beautiful, huh? I didn't paint it. Yes. Okay. So the thing is here again, she's got that long red hair here, which she looks to me like Hecate. She's here symbolized with the fox. I'm working currently on a story which involves the fox. There are this spirit fox in Asian mythology, which is also a witch. She's here also crowned by the owl, and she also carries very much similarities to Isis in her own sense. She holds both in her hands fire. And apparently that was a big ass corruption from Prometheus giving fire to humans, just like, do you hear any similarities here? Just as Azazel also taught humanity how to. So one is, I think, Greek, and the other one is some kind of Hebrew. The fox spirit is, depending on the artist and who reads it, where they want to go with it. The fox for me is a beautiful pet which I would love to have. They're just gorgeous. They're very clever. They're very smart. Let's just say in Lenormand cards, they symbolize as fake people. But I won't claim that here. It can also symbolize someone who simply are clever. The owl is usually symbolizes wisdom and knowledge. And not to mention, they see in the dark things that others don't see. This woman got 3 faces, just like the moon kind of got 3 faces. And I believe that also Hecate. And she also holds 2 snakes. And they have 1 head on each side, unless she holds 2 snakes on each side. That's also possible. The Cancerian energy, lunar energy, and the snake energy is all water. The symbols here are exceptionally strong. They are very strong. It's a very powerful card. It looks like there are leaves of blood shed. I don't know. What I find even more interesting is that she's got like this small dagger in one of her hands. And just like she got 3 heads, she also got 3 hands on each side. And in the other hand, she carries a set of keys, which have been a small obsession of mine, as I was given a key once. And after that, things changed. What is crowning this energy? The moon, because the moon holds a lot of secrets. That it's like we have to go behind the moon in order to, get the light to shine on whatever the moon is hiding. And here the moon reveals itself by showing up right. So something is revealed. Finally, you can maybe see the invisible cobweb, which is holding you together with this soulmate. Okay, and again, I don't see them as evil. But this is sure as hell a deck for witches. That's for sure. So if I'm attracting a lot of witches here, I won't be too surprised. Let's see the outcome of this. It's a Celtic cross. It's my own version. I'm going to put up special videos eventually. I'm not going to broadcast that because as a traveler, it seems to be never ending. We constantly have to carry light, and hopefully we can do a course in the meaning of these specific cards. And if you already know a lot about cards, I really recommend them. If you are a noob and you intend to have a future within cards, get them. Okay, so this is the outcome. And like I said, there is really no such thing as reversed when it comes to the smaller arcana. Depends on how you see it. What do you know? So at the bottom of the deck, we have some unfinished business in specific regards to that case. It's like a wolf dragon, kind of cool. It's the Wheel of Fortune in reversed. So don't focus on that. Focus on the tiny, strange raven. I see. I see. So this raven here in the outcome, he likes to brag. He's not necessarily a liar. That completely depends on the rest. He's not Gemini. We don't know his sign. We know it's a fire sign, right? He's connected to the Veritas. So I'm just going to stick with the fire signs for now. If I say so, we stick with the fire signs. So if I find out that no, that's all wrong, we change it next time. But for now, it's like that, and he likes to brag a lot. I recently wrote a children's book about this funny coincidence. He was bragging and bragging, and when they tell stories, people are laughing because they are funny. I don't know if you've seen a small clip on YouTube where a raven actually barks like a dog. They can imitate anyone and anything. And that's maybe also one thing you should be a little bit watchful for. If you have been ensnared by someone who is very hypnotic, because when a spider is in a room and you enter the room, it's watching you. Every move you make, which I remember my mom would said, and aunt also, that is so creepy. Yes, it is. I've been using raven as my spirit totem, my soul animal for such a long time that I know they observe and they look at the tail of another animal, and it's so tempting to pull that prank, to pull their tail, you know. No one knows why they do it. It seems like they get a gag out of it, you know. They have fun. So Raven is a prankster. The spider is not equally funny. They just want to keep you and drain you. Spider is draining. This one is also draining because it cackles like a parrot. They are no different, not especially with this one. And you might find out that the milk you are drinking is not exactly the milk you expected. Yes. Just one example with that. My sister is not exactly a raven, but she's got Aquarian moon, so she likes to pull a prank. So she had too much milk in her boobies. So she made her husband pancakes without really informing him about where the milk came from, until he was really full and said, "Oh my God, that was such delicious dinner." That's kind of a prank which is so evil that I'm big admiration of my little sister. I'm a big fan. How dare you? But it was so funny, especially since her ex is a evil spider. Now let's move on to the outcome of this specific situation. Let's see. So some of you are on your way to nowhere. You're just ready for world dominion. Okay? And some of you are on your way to a place where there is a big celebration waiting for you. Okay? Some of you are in for a huge victory. This is getting cool. This is getting cool. So victory, huh? Yeah. Some of you are just going to win whatever you, and we have, I think we have 3 6s here. So whoever you are going to meet in your path, whoever is going to ensnare you, if that spider is as cute as fire signs usually are, maybe you should just, "Hey baby, you got handcuffs, ready to be handcuffed." Who knows, you could be the bragger. Quack, quack, quack. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? I just figured it out. The spider is like, "Oh my God, that's what I captured. It won't shut up." Okay, it's just going to tie your beak up also. Okay, what else do we have for our beautiful air signs? This was a cool read. Right now I'm happy to be a sidereal Libra with Gemini ascendant and Mars, hybrid Aquarius. Just everything air, and airhead and sidereal. Why do you think this have a high priority? I'm trying to detach from it, but if it's a good read, let's claim it, all right? So we are going to celebrate something soon. We are going out there for world dominion, and not only is there a celebration there, but you're going to create a foundation, a very stable one. I also sometimes think of this also as a form of a cube, although it doesn't got 6 sides, but it got that before you build something, you got that, and from this here we put the cement or whatever, you know, for, it's basically a symbol for also shielding oneself a little bit, or holding back. Sometimes it could be a penny miser who doesn't want to share. It could also advise you to say, although you might have a victory. I did see someone who could invest in a marriage earlier today. So I thought I'd just bring it up to you. For those of you who are thinking about getting married or go to a marriage, be a little bit careful on how much money you put in a marriage. I've seen people who put like $10,000 100,000 crown, is that $10,000? You know, insanely amount of money. And then they buy a very modest house and they can't afford a car. Clearly these people are not Capricorns. Okay, let's move on. You can have, with a little bit of imagination, if you want to get married, a beautiful wedding with very few people in a simple, beautiful dress that you yourself designed, and let the Indians do the hard work, pay the well. And by the beach, white roses, the sunset, and some nice food. Again, not too many people. See, turning into a Capricorn here. And it can still be super romantic, you know. Oh, this one is someone, you're not going to resist this someone. So if this someone is the same, which appear to be the same, they have many sides to them. They have one side that wishes to ensnare you, but they're in no way evil. They could be bragging. I think some of you could literally be dealing with a Leo. And there is a Leo with a snake's tail. That was the first demiurge born from the goddess Sophia. He's called Yelderbaal, and that's demon. That's the devil. That's the devil. The snake is also wonderful in regards to ensnaring you, getting your attention by, oh, come to me, you know. And I have such interesting stories to tell you. And while they move towards you like a snake, hey, and they smell, of course, pretty damn good, you know. And before you know it, there are webs all over you and you can't move. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I haven't seen a proposal or wedding yet, but I did see it earlier today, so there could be something in the cards here. Actually, talking about wedding, there is a wedding here for some of you. And what do you know? There is the twin flame card, and no more tears from that time I was left out in the cold. Oh man, some of you are dealing with a real evil witch. You know, very ugly on the inside. I don't know how they look on the outside. Black swan times twice. But I do get, like, just for the other guys, like some of you have no more tears to cry, but there could be a wedding here for some of you. Should be 4 animals. What is the 4th? Oh, cat. Okay. So Baba Yaga, she's a very known Slavic witch, and I know all stuff mythological except from India, because that's so much and was so far away when I was a little girl. But yeah, read stories pretty much from the entire world as a child. We had a collection. And Baba Yaga, her hut is built on a bunch of skeletons, and her house stands on chicken legs and Dominus Divina. For me, this is basically just the Tower card, because Baba Yaga's house, she's evil, she eats babies, and the only one who get out there alive is clever princess, or whatever, the Cinderella version from the Russians. Vasilisia. I was obsessed with Russian fairy tales as a girl, and here you see it's on a chicken leg, and the house is filled with so much evil. It could be someone who have been all on top of their, you know, it could be old money involved, a lot of dominion. Hutta Haiti, well, it's now going straight down the drain. Basically, this is a Tower moment that is coming in for someone who refused to let go of some old habits or situation. Let's just see what that could be all about. It could be center of attention. Look at me, I'm the one, I'm the shit, look at me, I'm the sun, I'm, you know, give me all the attention, please, please, please. Usually they are just messengers. It could be that some of you neglected a child, and that also is a punishment if you left them with purpose, because you're like, yeah, I couldn't give a shit about that child. That's also a karmic situation that's in for you. Now we also have 8 of coins. That is hard work. Okay, so if you want to go somewhere, you need to do hard work, because if not, you're going to have to do it all over again. If you refuse to do this hard work, whatever you're up to right now, beautiful air signs, you're going to have to do everything again. And when you do it again, if you do it again, you will have an offer. And that offer could involve someone you've been involved in regards to a heartbreak, which is now an empress, or, you know, someone of high regards. This is someone you have a very strong schmexual connection with. They are now good on their own, but it's possible that you might come back together. That's so strange. That's the strangest thing I've seen. Usually coming back together is not something I recommend, but there is something here. Because the body and the mind and the heart and the guts have managed to somehow fuse each other and become independent, detach, and from there you have managed to have. So this is for those of you who have twin flame. That it could be that the twin flame separation is over. That's for you, because usually coming back together again, in my experience, I don't know when that worked ever, you know, unless this was in the 60s. And if you do that, you have an immense amount of abundance ahead of you in love. All right. So let's see what extra messages we have for each and every sign of you. Could be in love, could be in money. Let's see what is coming in for you. So, Gemini, my favorite sign. I'm tropical Scorpio, but Gemini, my favorite sign. I think. You are so cool. My undercover spies. Okay. Well, Libra, Queen of Swords, Aquarius, astronauts, air signs. Love you. I can't distress how much coolness you beautiful air signs are to me. So, what is it that my beautiful air signs need to know right now? I don't have much time left before we must leave this castle. Agent 008 needs to sneak out the castle. Okay, so let's check out what is the message for Gemini. This is that Gemini need to know. Okay, so here the High Priestess is nice. She's sweet, very Mexican. Listen to your inner voice. Move in silence. Don't broadcast to the world what you're up to, because that's what we call jinxing situations. Whenever you're up to something, don't broadcast it. And if you are a cross watcher, respect that when people move in silence, when they don't necessarily talk about something, it's not because they want to keep you out in the cold. It could be that because the High Priestess, she's accumulating energy by not talking. The moment she starts talking about it, she creates like tentacles out there that could be literally some kind of a self-sabotage, okay? And so this is one reason I want to go from talking about cards to just teach you by how to do them and to make them, basically. Because words in themselves are ensnaring. They are constructed in English, especially English, to ensnare people into the matrix. So you've been called to follow your inner voice and to be quiet. And so here you also see you have the snakes twice here. The Kundalini energy, it's starting to tickle in your back, and so it's time to purify yourself, and it's time to prepare for a new death. Death literally symbolizing just transformation. So we're never really born, we never really die. It's just an experience that we have, okay? You also have 10 of Wands, so it could be fear attached to that, like when you lived before, which is actually now simultaneously, you could have been, you were literally burned for being someone very gifted. And it's time now. She's naked, so I can't show her to you properly. But with the World card here, you can end that cycle and it will reveal a fortune for you. It will open up a new door. Again, follow the intuition and don't look back. Again, there is specific message here I'm giving out to a few people, and that has to do with the blue dress and an egg. Now, if you can give me some information on the blue dress, what is it about? I'm happy to answer for those of you who are ready to hear about the blue dress. Also the egg. It can lead you exactly out of that box. Think of it as a game. Catch me if you can, you know. There is an investment here which didn't go very well. Maybe a separation between someone who is disastrous when it comes to money and being a man, basically. However, there is new love coming in for you. Someone who wants to rule the world with you, but you're not sure. You're afraid of a trauma that is attached to the past. So you're looking back, and you should not look back anymore. But there is a deception here who is trying to reach through you, intense deception, but you're keeping your mind clear in regards to any love offer because of hurt, previous hurt. But you have 2 of coins here. Again, twin flame energy. So you are Gemini though, so it could be attached to that. And you have Ace of Wands. So again, you have the snake and the Kundalini. So I would, before I focus on anything else, because all this couple stuff, that comes with the expectation of you need to detox. You need to detox. But there is a higher calling coming in for you now. And that is the Kundalini awakening. And that's something I would take serious if I were you, because stuff is happening right now. This is happening right now. Okay, so when we talk about the dead ones shall rise, the Christian community take that as literal as a zombie apocalypse. Oh, except now we are resurrected from the dead, so we are alive again. It sounds like a zombie apocalypse. No, it has something to do with the fact that we are dead right now, in that sense that we are frozen in time. We're Isa, we move slowly, we are limited. But if we are aware of who we truly are and act as if, that is when you will resurrect you from that illusion of being dead. So let's move on to Libra and see what is it that Libra needs to know right now. So, the star for Libra. Are you working on getting famous? Yeah, by the way, guys, I didn't know it myself, but I sometimes forget to support people I get free reads from, which we take for granted. So if you don't mind, hit the like button if you think that my gig is I am honestly so bored of hearing about, oh, please subscribe, please hit the like button. But clearly, it's a must if we want to keep ourselves alive, just like asking for money or making money if we want to feed, if we want to eat. So it's just like that for now. Okay, and my videos are too long for me to edit them. Okay, so Libra, what is it that Libra needs to know right now? Ace of Cups, holding back the cup. I'm not going to give you my cup. Seven of Coins, was this really a good investment? Maybe you're a little bit impatient in regards to your investment. Maybe that was not what I was supposed to invest in. There is an angle here. You don't see things quite clear, so you might need to take some time off before you make a decision. 11, 11, 11. 1, 11, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Make the decision. And then I get all red. Oh no. Scorpio here, as in myself, tropical. Maybe not just being a little bit impatient. Some of you could have some Scorpio stuff here. You're coming out of the chrysalis process. Some of you could already be out. But you are skeptical in towards to who you give the cup to. You're also not so sure. There could also be someone that you hoped would come towards you with that cup. The Tower Owl here, beautiful, is actually a victory. It's a beautiful victory. And it's going to fulfill something, whatever path you're on, whatever path that you're choosing, although it might be a little bit iffy. We have two identical cards, one from the Thoth, because there's some hitchhiker cards here, two different decks. So one literally manga style, how cute is that? Universe, which is Thoth way of interpreting the cards. And the other one is the World, which is basically the similar card but much cooler design. We aren't allowed to show nipples, so let's be kind. So whatever you choose to take as a path, Libra, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Let's see if there is anything attachment to this in regards to the normal deck. The answer is here is a community, some kind of garden. Let's see, with magic mushrooms, of course. Something is crossing you. You could be a little bit stressed out about something. Act as if nothing bothers you. You need to do that. There is a man here. A man, literally a man. This is not gender fluid, this is not tarot, this is a Norman, and this man seemed to want to give you his heart. Now, what are you going to do about that? Because you're not sure if this individual, there's a travel involved here with the boat, the dark clouds. Yeah, and you're not sure if this person is false or loyal to you. That was for Libra. Hooray! So now you have your answer. If this resonates, please, I would be interested. Leave a mensaje below, abajo. Yes, I'm in Spain for some more time. Okay, so Algesio Aquarius, you got quite a hefty one. I rather want to do this the rest of the night than pack my bags. I come with one bag and I leave with 3. Shit. Okay. I have a garage here. That's my home here in Spain. I have a garage here where everything I can't carry, I just stuff it in there. Just go in there. It's hoping it would come to an end. If you support this channel, through PayPal, we share our money with animals in need, but we also have this dream about maybe, just maybe one day, we could produce our own cards. We already finished the cards, actually. So the rest of now the resources is just the final editing touch, and then print them. That's it. So yeah. Now, Aquarius. What is it that Aquarius need to know? By the way, happy birthday all Scorpios cross watchers. This is not a Scorpio read anyway. If you have a whatever. Anyway, we have Taurus energy here, the Hierophant in reversed. Some are talking, you know, have you seen this? They are so funny. You know, I usually have a lot of rings, like Johnny Depp kind of fingers. Basically look like Captain Sparrow female version when I'm really in the mood. And so I've seen a few guys that have so many rings and twice the double of the blings, and I would be like, you know, just pay attention to the screen and I will send you Reiki from here. And they would be all serious about it. They're not even sarcastic. They would be like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I felt that. If you really believe you felt that, I'm sure you felt that. So that's kind of what I mean with the Hierophant in reversed. Those new age clowns that are sending Reiki out in all direction through Instagram, and they just hit you like a tsunami in your face. And that's funny. If you plan a celebration, it seems to me a little bit delayed due to something here. I'm not sure what it is, but there is some kind of discussion or some kind of conflict here. Could be because there is a very large distance between where you live and someone is sending out kind of cold vibe here, feeling that yeah, there is a very cold energy here between you and someone. Not pretty at all. It's like almost two families. And it's like you're no longer talking. If there are magicians involved, it's black. If someone are cursing, talking a lot of shit behind your back, that's also black magic. Words, sounds, cymatics, curses, swearing, all that stuff is something we throw out there. It's black magic. Okay, you can kill someone with a forked tongue or just being extremely nasty. And it's like someone here in the middle, they just want justice. They don't understand what's going on. Why this war? Can't we just agree, everyone? And here there is this woman who is acting like a tyrant, Tirana. And I have a feeling she's the one who messes up everything here by manipulating a lot of people. This could be the spider in your case. In that case, that's pure evil. She wants all the attention. She wants to be your savior. She wants to be the knight. In reality, she's someone who portrays herself as the best mother or care person in the world, but she's fake as fuff, fake as fluck. And there is another woman here who says, you know, she's wise, she's loving, she's loyal, she's charming, and she's been through a lot because of the Queen of Wands. Also, she turned into, after all this bullshit, she detached, but it's hard for her to detach. Maybe because there's something there that belongs to her heart. The Three of Hearts there. And someone here, it's not gender specific, but whoever this is, there is someone here who is like, what is this going on? And why am I the scapegoat here? This was someone who was wise, lovingly, loyal, charming, and actually had her shit together. But because of this constant hunting her down and portraying her as some kind of a wild beast, he or she turned into a wild beast. And so if you are a cross-watcher and you happen to be that Queen of Wands, self-servant, hypnotizing people, locking them down, making drama, separating people, I pray that you somehow fix whatever you have been messing up, because this is many years of messing up. And you don't want to meet her when she is in that mood. You already see pictures of Kali. Right, Aquarius, that was for you. Each and every sign will get one. Could be for all of you anyway. So, Gemini, your commitment is being tested. First quarter of the moon. Libra, expect powerful change. Aquarius, the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. So I don't know, it's in Taurus it says, but could it be Gemini inside of you? in that case, be prepared. Okay guys, love you so much. If you like my gig, like, subscribe, comment below, and love you so much. Catch you on the flip side.